Hello, everyone. Welcome to Verbling. Hi there. I'm Teacher Oakley. And today in this class, for the next hour here at Verbling, we're going to be looking at subject-verb agreement and how we conjugate the verb with is and are. We're looking at basically plural nouns and singular and plural verbs. Sometimes it can be complicated with certain constructions, and we're going to look at those today. But Max, how are you? Of course, you know all about this.
Hello. How are you? I'm fine.
Yeah.
Very quickly, one question.
Sure.
Twice I heard one phrase, trade-off. Something like you can choose one or two-way trade-off. Trade-off. Doesn't make trade-off. Doesn't make sense?
I'm confused.
Yeah, really.
Tried, T-R-I-E-D.
I don't know. I just heard this. I don't know how to spell this. Trade-off.
Oh, wait. Trade-off.
Trade-off, maybe.
Trade-off.
I don't know.
Okay, maybe. I'm not sure, but perhaps what you're thinking of, this is a common phrase, trade-off. It's
in
a
context,
trade-off.
In context, some kind of, you can choose one or another.
Right, okay, trade-off. It's a trade-off. You can only have one or the other, right? It's a trade-off. You have one, that means you cannot have the other.
Okay, you helped me. I think it's try it off and try to find it, and
okay.
It doesn't make sense for me.
Okay. You're welcome, and welcome to the class. Hello, Heidi, as well.
Hello.
Hi.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to see you. How are you? How have you been?
Fine, thank you.
Okay. Nice to have you here. And hello, Nader. How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Fine.
Where have you been?
Here and there.
And now where are you going?
Where am I going? That's a great question. Even a mystery to me. I don't know. I'm not getting scheduled as many classes here at Verbling, so here I am today. Okay. Anyway, today we're going to be looking at subject-verb agreement, a valuable class for any speaking level. So any other viewers out there that would like to join me, come on in, because you're going to have a chance to basically ask questions about some of these complicated things and practice them with me. All right, I'm going to start off by doing a little screen share here. Okay. Basic rules are quite simple, and most people learn this when they learn English. This is one of the first things that you become familiar with. The idea that a singular subject, such as he, she, or it, she, Bill, car, what have you, takes a singular verb. The verb to be would be is in the present tense, or was in the past tense, or a verb with an S, goes, shines, the car shines, Bill goes. Whereas a plural subject, of course, takes a plural verb. They are. Okay. They are. Okay. They go. They shine. You don't need an S. Okay. Where it might get a little complicated is, for example, the list of items. Well, which is correct here? first of all, let me welcome Tatty or Tatey. Is it Tatty or Tatey? I'm sorry.
Tati.
Hello?
Hello.
One more time, I'm sorry. Hi, I can hear you. Tatey?
Yes. Yes, you're
Tatey.
correct.
Okay,
Mhm.
thank you very much. All right. Welcome to the class. Where are you from, Tatey?
I'm from Russia.
Okay. Well, nice to have you here. Uh,
Thanks.
and also, I'd like to welcome Michael. Hello, Michael.
Hey, teacher Oakley.
Hey, long time no see.
Yeah, long time no see.
Okay. Okay, anyway, we're looking at subject-verb agreement. In this sentence, well, Michael, since I'm talking to you, which is correct? The list of items is on the desk. The list of items are on the desk.
The list of items. 1 item, 2 items, 3 items. It's a list. The list of items is the list of items are on. The list of items is on the desk. The list of so confusing. So sorry, it's very in the morning. Let me see
Okay.
once again. The list of items is on the desk. The list of items are on the desk. Is, I think.
Sorry, I didn't mean to sneak attack there. I didn't mean to. All right.
Is on the desk.
Your is on the desk is correct. You have to recognize the key is to understanding subject-verb agreement, and the point
List.
is not to torture Michael. That's not the point, but yes, to understand. You're right, Michael. To understand that list is in fact the subject. Of items is just a prepositional phrase, added information.
Okay.
So if I removed of items, the list is on the desk. It's a lot easier to see, right? You don't have this distraction, right? Okay.
Yep.
So this is a common problem when you have English sentences with extra information stuck in there, such as perhaps a prepositional phrase or relative clause or some such thing, a gerund clause, something like that, becomes a little more confusing. So the key to understand which plural or singular verb you use is to recognize the subject. Okay. Let's look at some rules. Okay, a subject will come before a phrase beginning with of, usually. More on that later, not always. Okay, so, for example, when we look at a sentence like this is incorrect. Another example with of. A bouquet of yellow roses lend color and fragrance to the room. Super, super common mistake. And I will tell you, native speakers make this mistake all the time. Actually, it should be a bouquet of yellow roses lends color and fragrance to the room. Because, again, it's the same thing we just looked at with the list. A bouquet is actually a singular noun.
In this case, what's the meaning of word lend?
Lend. Ah, yes. Okay. Obviously, this is not how we normally use lend. Like, can you lend me some money, Michael?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure,
you
I
can. Oh, great.
Yeah, give me your bank account.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
I'll send you $5.
Okay. Great. Okay. Lend color. You're right. This is an unusual usage of the verb. Okay. Well, I guess what could we say? Give color or give color and fragrance to the room. I guess that's the closest. This is quite unusual. You're absolutely correct. I guess give is about as basic as I can come up with as an alternate synonym in this usage. It's quite formal, really, when you use the verb this way. This is really a more formal kind of sentence. Okay, another issue which I find here, the problem and the confusion for me, okay, when I'm thinking about this, and maybe you too, so I'll share it with you. The problem is here that bouquet is a collective noun. As you may or may not know, a bouquet means a group of flowers. In this case, yellow roses. So it's a group. It is many things. It's many pieces of flowers all stuck together. But it's considered one thing. You also, of course, may note the article a, which basically means one something of yellow roses, so it's got to be singular. But you can't get caught up in the whole idea of this group is many. There are many collective nouns. Group is a collective noun. A group of people. All right, well, for example, Heidi, how could you finish this sentence? A group of people, verb me.
A group of people is going, is walking down the street.
Is walking down the street. Okay, very good, and you have chosen to use present continuous, verb tense. Perfect. A group of people is walking, walking down the street. Yeah, I forgot down. But yes, that is correct. It would be very common to make the mistake a group of people are walking down the street. But you are correct. That's exactly right. Okay. Well, let's look at another rule. We'll give everybody a chance to do different things today because we have a lot of rules to look at. Rule number 2. Two singular subjects connected by or either or neither nor require a singular verb. Oh boy, okay. Or, the key to remember here is that or works differently than and when it comes to subject-verb agreement. Okay, some examples. My aunt or my uncle is arriving by train today. Okay. One or the other, it's still one thing. Even though you're talking about two subjects here, but it's a choice. Or it makes a choice. So it's still going to be one thing. Only one of them is coming, is arriving. Or in the case of a neither nor statement, which is the negative version, neither Juan nor Carmen is available. Okay, not one or the other, nor the other. Either Kiana, interesting name, or Casey is helping today with stage decorations. Okay, so it's still going to be one. Nader, can you give me an example?
Neither me nor my brother knows anything about this.
Okay.
Nor my brother knows anything. Yes. Anything about this issue.
Okay. Okay, but wait a second here. Well, actually, neither me nor my brother knows. Okay. Neither me nor my brother knows anything about this issue. Okay. All right, so if we got rid of part of the sentence, my brother knows anything. Okay. Well, it would have to be negative. My brother doesn't know. Is this right? This is singular. So, okay, he knows. Yeah, I guess that is right. Okay. Well, one little problem I'm having with this is I would not. Yes, I would probably do this. Neither my brother nor I know. Okay. Which brings us to the next rule. Okay. Which actually brings us to the next rule here, which we might as well look at since we're presented with it already. The verb in an either or and either nor in one of these sentence constructions agrees with the noun or pronoun closest to it, which is what, when I changed Nader's sentence around to make myself more comfortable, frankly. It just seems odd to me to say me first and then something else rather than my brother and I are going to the market. Okay. In any case, I had to change the verb. Nader was not wrong, and neither am I, because of this next rule. The verb is going to agree with whatever noun or pronoun or what have you is closest to the verb. So, for example,
So before, sorry, could we say neither I or neither me? Neither I is the correct one?
okay, neither I. Yeah, let's turn it around. That's a good idea. Neither I nor my brother knows anything. Yeah. Neither I nor my brother knows anything.
Okay.
Yeah, you can. I don't think this is a problem grammatically, but I will tell you as a native speaker, it just seems weird. Usually when we're doing this with I, we usually put I last, second. Okay. Okay.
So the same rule applies with we?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, it does. Well, hang on. Take a look at the examples here. Neither the plates, it's obviously plural subject, nor the serving bowl, obviously singular, goes on that shelf. All right. Brother knows, bowl goes. Right. Okay. If we flip-flop it around, it makes no difference here. These are just two objects. Neither the serving bowl nor the plates go on that shelf. Either one of these is perfectly correct. Okay. You just have to be more careful. Because you have to consider which subject is closest to the verb. Okay, I should mention the rule can lead to bumps in the road, little small difficulties. For example, here you go. If I is one of two or more subjects, it could lead to neither she, my friends, nor I am going to the festival. Now, frankly, to tell you the truth, this may seem awkward. This may seem awkward to some. This doesn't really seem that awkward to me. This actually seems very normal because, as I said, I usually put I at the end. So this, even though we have am, and it seems like am is acting with she am or my friends am, it still follows the same rule. In other words, this sentence, although it may seem kind of awkward, this is grammatically totally correct. You could reword it, of course. A couple examples. Neither she, I, nor my friends are going to the festival. She, my friends, and I are not going to the festival. Okay, get rid of the neither nor thing. Okay, and instead we're using and. All right? So when we use and with two subjects, we're always going to use a plural verb because you add them. It's not a choice. You're adding them together. Okay? So you have other options, in other words. Okay. All right. and I will tell you, all of these are actually grammatically speaking correct. The main point being, however, whatever you're going to say, if it's two plural subjects, two singular subjects, plural and singular, whatever kind of mess you're making, the main point here is that where is it? The verb agrees with the noun or pronoun closest to it. That is the main point here. Okay. This is kind of tricky. Tati. Tati. Sorry. Hi. Sorry, I'm practicing your name.
It's not mine.
Okay. Is your? I don't mean to be forward, but is your full name Tatiana?
Yes, of course.
That's easier.
Tatiana.
I'm more used to that. Okay.
Tatiana.
Tatiana. Okay, I can handle that. Okay, Tatiana, you want to try to give me a sentence with an or? Maybe an either or a neither nor, whichever you'd like. Okay.
I'll try. Neither my sister and I'm sorry. Neither my sister, brothers.
Oh, okay.
No. I wanted to say neither my sister nor my brothers.
Right. Well, you can.
Go to my friend's party. My brothers.
Okay.
Go to my friend's party.
Okie doke. What happened there? Something strange happened. Okay. All right. Neither my sister nor my friends go to my friend's party. Okay. You have the right idea in that your last subject matches your verb. However, I do want to point something out here. I forgot the possessive, but other than that, that was my mistake. You definitely have the right idea, but I do want to point out that because you're using present simple tense, this would mean that this is a regular activity, which sounds a little strange because unless your friend is having a party every single Friday night, for example.
Should I say are going to my friend's party?
Yeah, okay. If you want to, yeah, sure. Are going to my friend's party. All right.
It sounds better. I think.
My brother. You think so? Yeah. Okay. Or you could say past tense. You know, went. Neither my sister nor my brothers went. Again, using the past plural. Okay. Using the went. Past singular verb. It's difficult because I am actually I have problems actually even saying plural verb, singular verb, because I don't think of that. I'm always thinking of the subject. The subject is more important, whether the subject is plural or singular. But anyway, yeah, are going or went to my friend's party, that makes a lot more sense. Okay. Okay. We have a lot more here, so I'm going to continue. Okay, as we just saw, when we reworded this complicated phrase to include and, when we, in general, use a plural verb with two or more subjects, okay, when we connect things with and, when we connect things with and, we're adding them together. So, for example, a car and a bike are my means of transportation. This is perfectly normal. Okay? This is fairly straightforward. Max, you want to give us another example?
Okay. Michael and I are from Russia. Oh, sorry, I forget about Tatiana.
Yeah.
Forgot.
Okay. Okay. Very, very simple, very straightforward. Okay. Sure. Okay. But, dun, 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 dun. You always have to wait for that other shoe to drop. There's an idiom for you. In English, because there's always some crazy exception. And here they are. Hooray. Okay, we do have some strange exceptions. Breaking and entering is against the law. This is correct. The bed and breakfast was charming. Okay, these are considered to be compound nouns. Believe it or not, even though they're included with and. A bed and breakfast is a very specific thing. Like all compound nouns, it becomes a compound noun because it's defined as something quite specific. Such is the case here. Okay. You do run into this, and sometimes it can be a little complicated. I wonder if you guys can come up with any more of these. Do you know any more compound nouns with and?
Bread and butter.
Okay, thank you, Heidi. All right. Bread and butter. Now, make me a sentence, Heidi.
Bread and butter is very good for breakfast. For my breakfast.
All right, I'm gonna just, not that my is wrong. I'm just okay. Bread and butter is very good for breakfast. Now, here's the thing: you put the bread on, you put the butter on the bread, and then they go together. Okay. I think, in actuality, see, this is where it gets tough. I think you could actually say it either way, depending on what you meant. Okay? I think you could use is or are with this construction. The difference being, if I use is, I'm talking about the unit, the whole thing, the concept of bread and butter. Okay. Or you're talking about the two separate things. I think it's possible. Now, Microsoft Word is trying to tell me that this is wrong, and they want me to use are here. But I don't necessarily agree with Microsoft all the time. Just because they tell me so. I think that's a good example. Let's all see if we can come up with one. Michael, Michael, I guess. Sure.
So what should I do? What should I do?
Can you think of one of these weird exceptions like breaking and entering, bed and breakfast? Maybe you can't. Maybe you can't.
Is again the law?
Bread and butter. Bread and butter.
Joking a lot and laughing is a good way to spend your day.
Okay. Joking. Okay. All right. Well. Okay.
What? It doesn't work?
Well, let's try it. Let's see. I keep somehow muting myself. Joking and laughing is a good way to spend your day. Okay. Huh. It seems to work fine, actually. This is an interesting one. Okay. But we're okay. Interesting. That seems to work okay. I didn't think it would, but I guess I don't really see anything.
But why would you not say joking and laughing are good?
Yeah. Why wouldn't you? Exactly.
Method.
Joking and laughing are a good way to spend your day.
Because it's a way.
A good way. A good way. Right.
Methods.
Okay, right. That's why. Okay, because we have a good way. So this is considered one thing because we're referencing it now as a good way. Right. So it has to be is. Interesting. Interesting example here. Oh, that's really cool. So, okay, Michael, what if we did play with this? What if we changed it? What did you suggest? Method?
Methods.
Are
good methods.
Okay. So if we change the wording, get rid of the the need for the article there. Yeah, you're right. In that case, suddenly now we have to conjugate the verb differently. We have to use a different subject-verb agreement. You're right. Okay, that was very interesting. Okay. All right. Because we're referencing it back as a, then the subject is considered to be one thing. All right, I actually hadn't really considered that. That really wasn't part of the lesson. An added bonus. Okay, cool. Nader, can you think of any of these? These are interesting.
No, I need to ask about if we say we are not allowed to speak or write in English, and neither are we allowed to speak nor write in English. So when we use nor and or.
Not and nor. Okay. Well, a little bit of controversy there, but most of what I have read says that you really are not supposed to, although people do, people break the grammar rules all the time, you're really not supposed to use nor without neither.
Oh, okay.
Technically, in the hardcore grammar books, because I had to look that up before.
Okay, thank
for
you.
Another class. Yeah, I had a hard time believing that rule. I'm telling you the rule, and that's the rule that I studied and researched and learned, but I don't like it. But there it is.
Yes, but that's what I noticed, that we never use this nor without neither.
Yeah. Anyway, not I nor my cousin. Like that? You mean?
Yes, I before I used to use nor with both, but then I found that we do not use nor unless we have neither.
Yeah. Well, technically speaking, that's the rule. Okay, can you think of one of these little crazy compound nouns, three-word compound nouns?
No.
No. Yes and no. Yes and no is my answer. How about that? Can I do that? I just made that one up. Yes and no is my answer. Okay. Actually, and guess what? That works. Because I have one answer. My answer.
So
Okay, if I change it to answers, I have to change it to are. Interesting. See, you guys see how that works? Am I considering yes and no as the answer, one answer? Or am I giving two answers?
One answer.
Okay, answer, not plural. This is very interesting construction. It's very similar to what Michael was playing around with here. Okay.
Okay, one quick question. Bread and butter. Does it mean essential? So.
Better and better?
No. Bread and butter.
Oh, bread and butter.
Like.
Okay, yeah, I gotcha.
Does it mean essential? Basic?
The idiomatic meaning, you mean?
Yes.
Yes, it means it's very close to the idea in English of a staple. Okay, so as an example, if I said, okay, I have 50% of my students are Russians and the other 50% come from around the world, I could say that my Russian customers are my bread and butter. Okay.
Because I once read a writer, he said this so and so is a bread and butter, but with the bread and butter I add some jam. That it means what he adds to the matter. So this he made up. This is not common, that expression. But
No.
with bread and butter I added some jam.
No, somebody's being very, very witty. That's funny.
Okay.
I
Yes,
get
I
it.
liked it, but I didn't know whether he's inventing this or it is common.
I think so. I think he's invented it. I like that. That's that's pretty funny. Tatiana, do you know any strange kind of constructions like bed and breakfast, bread and butter?
No, I don't remember any, unfortunately.
Okay.
And
Okay.
How about give and take?
Give and take. Yeah, give and take. Okay. You need to, okay. There is give and take.
Give and take the
Give and take are needed. Give and take is needed.
needed.
Like that? You mean?
Yeah. In the trading.
Give and take is needed in trading. Okay, good example. Yeah, I think that's another example. Very good. We should get going though, because we have a lot more to do. Max, did you have a question before we progress?
some kind of example, maybe correct or not? My wife and I is a good family. Also,
Oh, wait a minute. My wife and I is a. I don't think this is going to work.
yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Interesting. No, I don't think this works. You would think it would work. I understand. Nope. This is not going to work. My wife and I are a family. Yeah. Because we become. Now that's interesting. Okay. Tigers and leopards and lions are cats. Are a herd. Oh, okay. Zebras and antelopes and water buffalo are a herd. Is a herd. No, are a herd. Now you're trying to put them, you're talking about them putting them in a group. But you're really what you're doing is you're saying 1 and 2 and 3 are part of the set. Yeah, I know. I understand your thinking.
Correct would be my wife and I are family.
Are a family. Are a good family. That's right.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay, the roses and tulips and daisies are a bouquet. I can't say is a bouquet. altogether they are this one thing. Okay, because you're defining them as a kind of collective noun. Okay, well, let's progress here. We got a lot more to do. Rule 5, sometimes the subject is separated from the verb by such words as along with, as well as, besides, not, okay, maybe adverb or adverb phrases. These words are not part of the subject, obviously not. Ignore them and use a singular verb when the subject is singular. For example, the politician, comma, along with the newsman, okay, this is added information, is expected shortly. Okay, this would go as well. This rule also works for relative clauses. The man who stole my hat is a big fat jerk. Okay, same idea. Excitement as well as nervousness is the cause of her shaking. Okay, so these sort of these sort of added information phrases, relative clauses, or perhaps adverbial clauses, what have you, we can ignore them when it comes to subject-verb agreement, and just, again, it's actually similar to the list of names. It's really the same idea. You can just get rid of them. Okay, a little more complicated. This happens a lot, and this sometimes confuses people. Words that indicate portions or quantifiers, things that quantify how many or how much. Rule number 1 is reversed. Turn around. Okay, so we do have to pay attention to the of. That's why when I said in the beginning of class, usually we don't pay any attention to the of phrase. Well, not always. If we begin with a quantifier, for example, look at these examples. A lot of the pie has disappeared. Okay, here, a lot of the pies have disappeared. Here, we have to pay attention to this prepositional phrase because that's going to dictate our subject-verb agreement. Okay, so these are all quantifiers. They say how many or how much of something. All right, so you have to be a little more careful, especially when you're using words that are maybe not words that you add an S to make plural. A third of the people are unemployed. Yeah. Yeah.
Some thing comes to mind. What about a lot of pie? It's impossible. A lot of one thing. A lot of the pie. What it means?
A lot of pie.
No. A lot of the pie.
The pie?
A lot of the pie.
Oh, as
one
in the
pie.
Here.
Yeah. Why a lot of one pie?
Well, if you want to consider fractions, 3/4 of the pie has disappeared. That's a lot. Where did it go? You can talk about a lot as a portion of a whole. It's perfectly acceptable to do that. A lot of my money has disappeared.
But money is uncountable.
Money is uncountable. So is pie. Well, no, 3 pies, 4 pies. No, I'm sorry, but 3 cakes, 7 cakes. Actually, pie and cake can be uncountable.
Yes, and according to my dictionary, the pie is accountable and uncountable both. What case
Both.
is accountable?
When you're talking, okay, they're countable when you have an apple pie.
Understanding countable is I can understand, but what case uncountable?
When you're talking about one pie and a part of that one pie. a fraction of that 1 pi, then it's uncountable. That's when we talk about I would like a piece of pie. I can't say I would like a pie. That means I'm talking about an entire pie. And who here in this class eats an entire pie at a time? Admit it if you do. No, nobody eats a whole cake. Nobody eats a wedding cake. I would like a cake. Well, meaning I would like to eat it. I cannot say I would like a cake. No one can eat an entire wedding cake, for example. You need to say I would like a piece of cake. So a part of that. So when you're talking about a part of one, it becomes uncountable, actually. Do you understand?
Yeah, I understand that from the first, but I'm asking about why pi has a two-way uncountable or countable.
Okay. Why is the sky blue? I have no idea. I cannot answer that question. I mean, I can answer it kind of, probably not satisfactorily, but the reason words are uncountable is because they cannot be measured specifically without using some other kind of, why is milk uncountable? Because I can't say give me a molecule, an atom of milk. That doesn't make sense. It becomes very difficult to actually calculate, quantify how much. So when you say I want a piece of pie, it is not an exact thing.
Meaning like bread?
Yeah, well, yeah, it's very much like bread. Exactly.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
As a native speaker, what difference between first and second phrase? A lot of the pie, a lot of the pies.
Oh, it's very obvious to me. I don't have to even consider it. I know in the first sentence you're meaning like 3/4 of the pie. Actually, the picture which pops into my mind when I think of a lot of the pies have disappeared. I think of the cartoons where the woman puts 3 or 4 pies out on the edge of the windowsill to cool, and the cat steals 3 of the pies. Those are the pictures in my brain, to be very, very graphic with you.
Okay.
Okay. Many times when I envision English, I remember cartoons I saw as a child. Okay. How about this one? Some of the pie is missing. Some of the pies are missing. Same thing here. Okay. It's just a lot of the pie would be more than some of the pie. Some is very vague. I don't know how much. Oh, okay. Okay. Now this, I'm going to ignore this. This is very strange, actually. I'm going to just ignore that. But anyway, let's go on to another rule. Kind of running out of time. Maybe this should be to a lesson class. In sentences that begin with here or there, the true subject follows the verb. So this is also another case where the subject is not that easy because it's not right in front of the sentence. For example, there are, we got our verb first, 4 hurdles. It comes after the verb, right? To jump. There is a high hurdle to jump. Actually, it's just, okay. Here are the keys. Obviously, the subject is coming after the verb when we construct these. Quick note as far as speaking, the word there's, a contraction of there is, leads to bad habits in speaking. There's a lot of people here today. You will hear native speakers say this. Very common. It's kind of, well, it's easier than saying there are, or reducing it. There were a lot of people. It's just harder to say, so people get lazy and say there's a lot of people here. And frankly, unless you're a grammar teacher, you would never notice this, but grammatically speaking, it's not completely correct. Does everybody understand this whole thing with there and here? When it starts a sentence, there or here? Questions? All right, moving on. Rule number 8. Use a singular verb with distances or periods of times or sums of money. Okay, look at this. 3 miles is too far to walk. It may seem as though we're talking about a plural thing. Miles, it's got an S. We got a number. Okay. I give you a minute to think about this, but it's considered one thing, one block, one unit of 3 miles is too far to walk. Same thing with time here, 5 years is the maximum sentence for that offense. Okay, we cannot use are. It's a prison sentence. That's what we're talking about, and that's thought of as a unit, one thing. This is your prison sentence. 5 years. $10 is a high price to pay. Same idea. Okay, you can change meaning by changing the subject-verb agreement. So if I say $10 were scattered on the floor, automatically that has to mean like $1 bills. They're scattered, so there must be many. It's were, so it's got to be plural. All right? So I can kind of dictate by subject-verb agreement, do I mean it as a one unit, or do I mean several of the things? All right? Any questions about this idea? Maybe a little tough to wrap your head around, I don't know. Okay. All right.
You should pick up just this kind of, usage. You shouldn't. If you listen to native speakers, like how they speak in movies and TV programs, you'll pick up by yourself this kind of.
True.
You don't think about how should I say 3 miles are or is. But if you always listen to them, to people who are speaking in English, so you would pick up those rules.
That's true. But as a native English speaker, you're 100% right. When I speak, I never consider subject-verb agreement. However, when I'm writing things like this, I make mistakes. I have to consider it. I have to actually think about it. When I'm writing and I have things like this, I do make mistakes. I do have to consider it. Things like this, I definitely have to consider it, and I actually have to actively think about it. You're totally correct. When I'm speaking, I never give it a second thought. You're absolutely right. It just seems natural, or it doesn't.
And also, native speakers, they understand you either way. If you speak with mistakes or no, they understand you. True. And they pretend you don't. So they pretend they didn't hear with the mistakes. They okay.
Yeah. Well, if they're polite and nice, yes.
Yep.
That's right. Okay, that's true. Beware of children; they're much crueler than adults.
You jerk!
Yeah. Well, some collective nouns: family, couple. Max talking about when you're talking about family, and I mentioned it was a collective noun. Okay, may take either singular or a plural verb depending on their use in a sentence. Now this is where it gets really tricky. The staff is in a meeting. The staff is acting as a unit. The couple disagree. They're not acting as a unit. They're fighting with each other. Okay, so they're acting as two independent persons. It refers to two people who are acting as individuals. So I don't say the couple disagrees. Now, they are disagreeing, the husband and wife, let's say, are disagreeing about disciplining their child. They're acting as two units. If the couple is having dinner at a restaurant, and both of them are fighting with the waiter, the couple disagrees with the waiter. Because they are actually acting as one unit. They agree with each other. Okay? So thus you can see that the subject-verb agreement may be different. Depending on meaning, content. Okay. However, it can be said, anybody who uses a plural verb with a collective noun must be careful to be accurate and, more importantly, consistent. Here's another thing, Michael, where if you're, this is an easy mistake to make, even at, believe me, as a native speaker, very easy mistake to make, as in here. The staff is deciding how they want to vote. Really, honestly, I've made this mistake. I know I have many times. This is not right because we're using the staff is. Okay, so again, Michael is right. As a speaker and listening and in a conversation, I would never notice this if somebody said this, speaking. Only in writing would you actually have time enough or be able to think about it enough to notice, and then it would be clearly wrong. How could I fix this, Michael?
Are deciding.
Okay, I could say the staff are deciding how they want to vote. Nader, how else could I fix it?
You can say the staffs are deciding.
Staffs?
No, you cannot.
You cannot?
Two staffs?
No.
No, don't you use staff with S? Sometimes?
No. It's uncountable.
Is it?
Because it's considered like each company has one staff.
Yes, but maybe it's more British to use because maybe I thought it's you can use it either way, staff
Really?
or staffs.
Well,
Maybe I'm not sure.
I suppose
But the staffs are definitely used in some contexts.
okay.
Okay,
I can imagine a situation where you could use it as a countable noun. I can imagine that. If you had two companies having a running race together. All right. So one staff over here, one staff over here. Everybody run to the end of the field. The staffs are ready to go, I suppose. Both staffs are ready to begin. I suppose it's possible. I just think it's unusual, which is maybe why I initially reacted that way.
Okay.
Okay. Anyway, another way you could change this, okay, you could change the first verb, yes. Or you could leave the first verb. The staff is deciding how it wants to vote. Yes, you can refer to the staff as it. It, as a unit, wants to vote. So either way would be possible. Or you could add some kind of quantifying, change the sentence. The staff members are deciding how they want to vote. Okay. Okay. And the last rule is in the conditional, or the subjunctive. If Joe were here, you'd be sorry. You have another kind of an exception to the rule. But unfortunately, unfortunately, I'm frozen. Now, there we go. Fortunately, I'm out of time, and conditional sentences are another day. So thank you, everyone, very much, and I'll see you next time here on Verbling. I have to go now.
Thank you. Bye.
Okay.
See you later.
See you later, alligators. Bye-bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye for now.